Nepal is ours, and its future is in our hands. Jai Yuva! Jai Nepal!
Daily Mad News. Mad News. Daily Mad News. Mad News. Daily Mad News.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of the Daily Mad News with your host, for Pizzo, coming to you live and direct from the Mad News headquarters right here in London. So, what is the Mad News for today?
Daily Mad News.
So, according to the Sunday Times, Nepal's Prime Minister Sharma Oli resigns after 20 deleted in protest. Demonstrators set fire to parliament and attacked politicians even after lifting of a social media ban, which Gen Z rioters said exposed corruption.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Let's go to another headline. This is from India TV. Nepal Gen Z protest. Army issues stark warning amid looting and arson in Himalaya nation. Protests led by the Nepal's Gen Z continue for a second day on Tuesday, despite local administration in 3 districts of Kathmandu Valley imposing a curfew from morning.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
So after the curfew, these are the protesters out there, the Gen Zs. Gen Zs are there taking pictures, selfies. Yeah. So this is what they're saying. Say social media platforms like Facebook, WhatsApp, and X, formerly Twitter, were banned in Nepal, sparking massive Gen Z-led protests that have left at least 17 dead and many injured. What has begun as a government crackdown and on unregistered social media site escalated into a widespread anti-government demonstration across Kathmandu and other major cities, including Pokhara, Butua, Baraawa, Baramto, Achari, and Dama.
Daily Mad News.
The protest, fueled by young people, quickly turned violent outside the parliament building, prompting the resignation of Nepal's Prime Minister, KP Sharma Oli. Okay, said during the protest, police deployed tear gas, water cannon, and even live rounds. Home Minister Ramesh Nishad of the Nepali Congress resigned on Monday evening and was soon followed by Agricultural Minister Ramnath Adhikari and Health Minister Pradeep Patel also tendered their resignation.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
So let's go through another headlines to see what's happening with it. So according to the Nepali Times, protest grows against Nepal's social media ban. Drastic move seen as the government attempt to control free speech and raise tax revenue. So this is, I can't read the language because it looks like signature to me, but basically this is what they're saying. So let's go deeper into what's actually going on.
Daily Mad News.
Nepal's Prime Minister for Communication and Information, Prithvi Subha Gurung, said about 24 social media network platforms that are widely used in Nepal were reportedly given notice to come forward and register their companies officially in the country. The platforms will be blocked immediately, he said. So basically what he's saying to the social media site is, you guys need to have an office in Nepal. I mean, you guys need to have an office in Nepal. If you don't have it, we're going to shut down your social media site. But let's look deeper into this. The bill, which has not, let me highlight it for you guys to see. The bill, which has not yet been fully debated in Parliament, has been widely criticized as a tool for censorship and punishing opponents who voiced their protest online. Rights groups have called it an attempt by the government to curb freedom of expression and violating citizens' fundamental rights. Guys, doesn't this look like the online safety bill they just passed in the UK? This is the same as the online safety bill. But let's see what the people are saying. Remember this guy, this Nepal's communication and information minister. Let's see what Nepalese did to their officials one by one.
Daily Mag News.
What happens when the rage of the people grows so strong that even the most powerful officials are no longer safe in public? In Nepal, that terrifying question just became reality. The Minister of Finance, Bishnu Prasad Podel, found himself surrounded by an angry mob, chased through the streets, stripped of his dignity, and forced to flee toward the river in a desperate attempt to escape. This is not just about one man. This is about a nation boiling over with frustration, anger, and an unshakable demand for justice. Welcome back to our channel. Today's story takes us deep into the heart of Nepal, where unprecedented chaos is unfolding. Scenes that emerged from the streets of Nepal are both shocking and symbolic. Crowds of furious demonstrators targeted Bishnu Prasad Podel, the finance minister, as he attempted to move through the city. What started as chants and slogans quickly escalated into physical confrontation. Protesters closed in, pushing him back, striking him, and showing no fear of the authority he once represented. In a matter of minutes, the situation spiraled into chaos. Witnesses reported that the minister was cornered, his security detail overwhelmed, and the sheer force of the mob left him exposed. This moment will be remembered not only for the violence it displayed, but also for the raw, unfiltered signal it sent to every politician in Nepal. The days of impunity, where leaders could act without consequence, may be coming to an end. One of the most disturbing details reported from the scene is that the minister's clothes were forcibly stripped from him. To many, this act may appear cruel and humiliating. But to the protesters, it symbolized stripping away the illusions of power. It was their way of saying, "You are no different from us. You have no shield left." This brutal gesture highlights just how far the people's anger has gone. They no longer see leaders as untouchable. They see them as individuals who must answer for their decisions. The act of stripping clothes in the middle of a furious crowd was a deeply symbolic rejection of the hierarchy that separates ruler from citizen. And yet, this act also reveals a dangerous slide into mob justice. Once dignity is removed, violence often follows. This was not simply about political demands. Anymore, it became about humiliation, fear, and vengeance. It marks a line being crossed, one that will have serious consequences for how the government and the people confront each other in the future. For Bishnu Prasad Podel, the humiliation is permanent. For the public, the memory of that moment will fuel their sense of empowerment. But for the nation, the cost could be instability on a level not seen in years. According to multiple reports, the finance minister's chaotic flight ended near the river. Pursued relentlessly by demonstrators, he was seen sprinting away from the mob, desperately seeking safety. The river, often a place of peace and reflection, became a last resort for survival. This escape highlights the scale of the breakdown in authority.
Daily Mag News.
I mean, I believe every politician, any politician, doesn't matter who you are. If you're a politician that is fraudulent, dodgy, corrupt, you should feel public justice. Your public staff, if the public put you there and you go over there and you do what you want, you should face the public wrath. I don't condone violence, but I believe if the public go out there to vote for you on election day, if you go out there, when you get to office, you misbehave, the same public needs to bring you back and give you some bollocking. I support that. What do you think?
Daily Mag News.
Once dignity is removed, violence often follows. This was not simply about political demands. Anymore, it became about humiliation, fear, and vengeance. It marks a line being crossed, one that will have serious consequences for how the government and the people confront each other in the future.
There you go.
For Bishnu Prasad Podel, the humiliation is permanent. For the public, the memory of that moment will fuel their sense of empowerment. But
Guys, that's just one of them. There's more.
Daily Mag News.
As riots continue to rage in Nepal, footage has emerged of its former Prime Minister and his wife being brutalised by protesters inside their own home. The home of five-time Prime Minister Sherbada Dubha and his wife Arzu Rana Dubha was stormed by a mob who dragged them from the house and beat them. One clip shows the pair being hustled from the house by a gang, some wearing motorcycle helmets, after they bust in. Later, a badly bloodied Dubha is seen being pulled through another building with fear in his eyes. Soldiers eventually arrived on the scene and took control, holding back the mob with their guns. Nepal's capital, Kathmandu, and other cities have seen days of ferocious rioting this week. The ruling class across different parties has been systematically targeted by the demonstrators.
Good.
The wife of a different former Prime Minister was killed when protesters torched their home. Another shocking video showed Nepal's finance minister being hounded along a river to the jeers of rioters.
Good.
The mob also set fire to Nepal's main parliament building and the home of the Prime Minister, KP Sharma Oli, forcing his resignation on Tuesday. Fury first erupted after the government banned 26 websites, including Facebook, X and YouTube. Riots persisted even after the ban was lifted and the PM had resigned, as revolutionary fever ran wild through the young demonstrators. 19 people were killed earlier this week when police opened fire on the crowds of demonstrators, which further fueled the anger. Army helicopters have been used to evacuate some ministers to safety, and police have deployed water cannons, batons and rubber bullets in their efforts to keep rioters at bay.
I'm appalled by the escalating violence in Nepal.
You guys should shut the hell up. You guys are the one making every nation in the world sign this online safety bill that you're imposing on every nation in the world. Now the government now have to try and follow the UN, the WEF rules to impose this online safety bill on everyone. Now you see what's happening in Nepal. Now why don't you go to Nepal and talk to them?
That has resulted in multiple deaths and the injury of hundreds of mostly young protesters, as well as the widespread destruction of property. I plead with security forces to exercise utmost restraint and to avoid further such bloodshed and harm. Violence is not the answer. Dialogue is the best and only way to address the concerns of the Nepalese people. It is important that the voices of young people are heard. Protesters have the right to express peacefully their political frustrations and grievances over corruption and a ban on social media platforms.
They don't want digital ID and they don't want online safety bill. So what are you going to do about it, man?
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
The Nepalese people said they don't want social media ban and they don't want digital ID. What are you going to do about it, UN?
Daily Mag News.
Every political elite in the whole world needs to be given a beating like this. So that at least they know what public reaction is. I mean, most of the times it's the public that always get the bad end of the stick. Yeah? I mean, this is the first time in the whole wide world that we see a proper revolution where the prime minister and all those ministers have to resign. I mean, they give them proper beating. This is what I want. This is what should be happening in every democracy. Every democracy in the world needs to be open to this. I mean, the citizen of the world needs to be able to bring every politician into book. I think if people like Keir Starmer get slapped up, or people like Tony Blair and all these politicians get slapped up, do you think they won't sit up?
Daily Mag News.
I believe that Nepal has set example on how we should be treating politicians right now. If you are a politician and you don't care about your people, all you care is about the global elite, yeah, and the WEFs and the global everything, and you are a minister of that country, I think you need beating like this. If you're not putting the interest of your citizen first, I think you should be beaten up like that. I don't condone violence, but I think this is right. I think Nepal is showing the world how it should be done. That's what I think. That's what I think.
Daily Mag News.
In Africa, they used to sing this song. How many people popo go kilo? How many people popo go kill? Hey, then go kill us, tire. Hey, then go kill us, tire. Hey, then go kill us, tire. How many people popo go kill? How many of them do you want to take out? Let's say each officer have a 16 or 24 bullets each, yeah? And let's say there's hundreds there. That's 2,400 bullets. Yeah, I'm just giving you an instance. But there's 50,000 people. How? You don't have enough bullets for these people. Are you going to be killing your own citizen? You're going to be killing your own citizen for corrupt officials? Instead of you to join the people and wage war against the officials and have a revolution, you're turning your bullet against the people. Now you see what they did to your prime minister, to all your ministers. That's the way it's supposed to be done. If you're a corrupt official, yeah, and the people have to come and use their vote to elect you there, they decide to bring you to justice and give you the bullocking that you deserve. I mean, this is what I believe.
Daily Mag News.
Let's take a closer look at what brought us to this point.
A lot of people were expressed the sentiment that yes, perhaps this needed to happen.
Pranay Rana is a Nepal-based journalist. He points to how frustrated young people have become with the elderly elites. People aged between 15 to 40 make up nearly 43% of Nepal's population.
Perhaps there needed to be an extreme kind of protest that would change the very face of Nepal. Because...
Guys, look at that glorious view. Doesn't it look good? I'm not saying that, but it looks good because that shows that corruption is being burnt away. I mean, corruption is being burnt away in the city of Nepal. This is good looks. I mean,
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
Africa, rise up. Right now, Africa need to rise up. Nigeria, rise up. Ghana, rise up. South Africa, rise up. Benin, all these African countries need to rise up. Bring your leaders into account like they did in Nepal. Strip them naked, beat them up, and they will never steal from you again. I mean,
Okay, bye-bye.
Daily Mag News.
the old politicians, the old leaders would find a way to keep holding on to power.
Nepal ranks 107 out of 180 countries in Transparency International's annual corruption index. Before the social media ban was imposed, there had been a growing online anti-corruption movement, with videos highlighting the lifestyles of so-called Nepo babies, the children of politicians.
एउटै ब्याग त्योभन्दा र त्यसको डबल छ यस्तो ल्याभिस लाइफ दिइरहेछ कि केही न केही त गडबडी होला नि त अनि पुरा जो निस्किरहेछ नि सबै कुराहरू सोशल मिडियामा निस्किन्छ क्या एउटा
it's like in any third world countries. Once your dad gets into government, the children start spending lavishly. Have you seen the son of the Nigerian president? Have you seen how the guy's running around the place like a politician? Because your dad is the president. He should get slapped up. I wish he's in Nepal right now. I wish he's a Nepalese. He will have knows what's up.
Daily Mag News.
The World Bank says 82% of Nepal's workforce is in informal employment.
Imagine a country where 82% of the people, 82% of the people is unemployed. That means there's only 18% of the people working. So if 82% of the people is unemployed and there's only 18% of the people working, they're unemployed. There's no social benefit in Nepal, as we know. So the people just minding their business every day, going on Facebook, going on X and YouTube, watching any program that makes them happy. And in the evening, if they want to sue, they go to all those sites and watch it. Now, the government is saying instead of providing jobs and employment for these people, you're listening to the WEFs, you're listening to the UN, you're listening to the global elite. You want to enforce global ID on your citizens. You want to enforce online social media plan, online data act on these people. And they say, no, we're not having it. We're not having it. We're going to show you we got power. And this is what's going on. I think every country that has democracy in the world should practice this. Their citizens should be able to grab some of their officials here, some of those politicians, and give them a couple laps. Give them a couple slaps. Just left, right, and let them know. You take our money, we're going to do the same thing to you. I believe that. I think this is the right thing to do. I think this is the right thing to do. But let's keep going.
Daily Mag News.
These young people defied the curfew. Their fight for something far deeper and more entrenched.
Do you know what's funny? How come the Western media is not actually telling the world the whole truth? That the people in Nepal are fighting over the digital ID and the Online Safety Act or Safety Bill, which is also called the Social Media Bill. That is what these people are fighting over. So the Western world will not tell you the truth. They'll just say, oh, they're fighting over corruption. They're fighting corruption. No, they're fighting digital ID and online safety bill. That's what these people are fighting over. They say they don't want digital ID and they don't want online safety ban, which is the social media bill. That's what they're fighting for. And that's the reason they're stripping all these politicians naked. I think the Western world, the Gen Z of the Western world needs to take a leaf off the Nepal's book.
Daily Mag News.
We were suppressed. Now we have our voice.
Yeah!
Homes were burned, police stations targeted too. And here, the very heart of government in flames.
This is Parliament House in Kathmandu, the centre of political power where lawmakers pass legislation. But look at it now. It has been burnt. Protesters here.
Good.
And what's so striking is we haven't seen any police, any security forces.
Police don't want to. Come on, police got a life too. If I was a police officer right now, I would just take off my uniform and join the people right there. That's it.
After years of fermenting frustration over social inequality and corruption, they declared this the beginning of a revolution. Gleefully clutching mementos of the political class
Go melt that and turn into some chain or something
they
like
feel
that.
has failed them for so long.
Things have shifted quite fast here. Protesters have now stormed into Parliament House. You can see them making their way up the stairs, and they're trying to take away or destroy what little is left here. There's the thud of things crashing around, broken glass all over the floor, and fires too. They want to make clearly the biggest possible statement they can.
Daily Mag News.
This guy is just like the painter. You know the painter, you know the guy, the painter? The painter. Inspired by the painter. Listen to this guy's speech.
Today I stand here with the dream of building a new Nepal, with a fire of hope and passion burning within me. But my heart is heavy because this dream seems to be slipping away. Rise and shine, futures of this upcoming imperial empire. I, Avishkar Raut, the head boy of this everlasting imperial institute, Holy Well English Secondary School, welcomes you with open arms to our 24th annual program. I put myself before you this moment to shed light within your consciousness by piercing the dark nimbus that circles above you. I am present here today to immortalize a monumental change in the course of history. Nepal, our mother, this country gave us birth, nurtured us. But what did it ask in return? Just our honesty, our hard work, our contribution. But what are we doing? We are bounded by the chains of unemployment, fleeing abroad in search of opportunities. We are trapped by the selfish games of political parties. Corruption has woven a web that is extinguishing the light of our futures. Youth, rise! We are the torch bearers of change. If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not raise our voices, who will? If you do not build this nation, who will? We are the fire that will burn away the darkness.
Yes.
We are the storm that will sweep away injustice
Yes.
and bring prosperity. Our ancestors shed their blood to give us this nation.
Yes.
We cannot sell it. We cannot lose it. We are the fire. We will burn every despair away. Now we must decide. Now we must decide. Will we drown in the darkness of despair or rise as the sun of hope? Will we change the fate of this nation or will we let it remain in shackles? King Birendra once said, even if I die, shall my country live on?
Yes.
All the youths, carry these words in your heart and engrave a monument of change in the course of history. Nepal is ours and its future is in our hands. Jai Yuva! Jai Nepal!
instead of letting the young boy watch his YouTube on social media, you made the painter come out, this boy right now. I mean, the painter is in this boy right now. He's gonna be the next painter of Nepal.
I know words, I have the best words, but there's no better word than stupid.
This is what happened. When you oppress people, they push too extreme and entities take them over. Now, this boy right now, or this grown man right now, is the painter of Nepal. And you know what? I give you kudos, bro, because you stand up. You stand up for your country. You did what a lot of people couldn't do for their countries.
Daily Mag News.
Most of these politicians in the world, once you vote them into office here, they get really empowered. And they think there's nothing anyone can do to them. We can see, like, for example, the Mr. Ruto in Kenya. We can see with Mr. Tinubu in Nigeria. We can see it with all these people around the whole world. Once they get into power, they think they're untouchable and they can do what they want. So do you think that the members of the public, the citizens, have the right, because after all, they use their thumb to vote for you, so they should turn that thumb into a punch to vote for you? You know what I mean? So do you think what they did is right, or do you think no matter what, violence should not be introduced? But we have to also know that the government too can use their soldier boys to do violence on the student, on the citizens. But now the citizens saying, hell no.
Daily Mag News.
Do you think the government of Nepal, which is supposed to put the citizen first, but playing the cards of the WEF and the UN, do you think that the way the citizens dealt with them, do you think is fair? Do you think it's fair that if you've been neglecting and be ripping up your citizens, I mean 89% of the country is unemployed, or is it 82% of the country is unemployed? I think that's ridiculous. I think it is time for the youth to stand up. And me personally, I think it's a good thing that the youth stand up. So that's my opinion. Let me know what you think. Let me know what you think by putting your opinions and views out there, if you're not too scared to put your views out there. If you like what I do, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Until I see you again on the Daily Mag News, it's your boy FOB, and I'm
Daily Mag News. Mag News. Daily Mag News. Mag News. Daily Mag News.